Hi everybody, Linda Carroll here from my studio, Gather of Great Things, and it is Magical Monday. I hope I make it to get this video up on Monday. I had a really great visit today with my nephew, whom I hadn't seen in well over a year, maybe a year and a half, and so it was so worth it though. We had a great visit, and my brother. And a shout out to them, my brother Steve and my nephew Steven. So I just now finished the collage and the collage sheets that I'll be putting up on my Etsy shop. So this is this week's collage. It's kind of a surreal collage, and it is filled with butterflies and blossoms and a monkey and a snail, and this beautiful Mary that I found. She's really, really lovely, and a different background. This is similar to the one that I used that we worked on the window, but not quite. So I wanted to show you the collage sheets and what you would get on these, and then I'm going to take a little break, cut these out, and I'll be right back and we'll go ahead and work on a collage. I gave actually a couple different options that you can work with if you want to change up the collage, but I found this beautiful statue of, I believe it's Mary. She's not usually dressed in pink, but I thought she just had the prettiest face, and so I worked with her, changed her hand, and gave her a few different details. And then this beautiful bloom is in two different sizes. This one's just a little bit larger than this one, in case you wanted to use it in this collage in a different way, or if you wanted to use it in another collage. And then this piece, let me scoot this out of the way. This piece, I actually put the lady, well, we'll call her Mary, and we'll put Mary in this bloom. And then you have the other pieces, the monkey, the snail, the goat head, dragonflies, lots of butterflies to work with. And also I forgot to include our little mousie. So I printed out this sheet where the little mouse originally appeared, but on the sheet that you'll get, there are two little mice right here on this page. So I decided I'm going to carry him through this entire series. So I hope you all are doing great, and by the time you see this, these pieces will be up, and if you want to get the background, it will be up on Linda Carroll Art Community, so on Facebook, and there's a link down below to that if you want to work with other images on this background. The blue on this background is just magnificent. It's a really, really, really rich cobalt blue, and I really enjoyed working with this. So, and it picks up the blue in her eyes perfectly. So I'm going to take a little break and cut all these out, and I'll be back with you in about 3 seconds, probably. Really quick for you, but it'll take me a while to cut these pieces out. So I'll see you real soon. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I have all my little pieces cut out and ready to collage. And you know, someone made a comment on one of the Facebook pages that I posted the last collage on, and they said, at first I thought your collage was a digital collage, but then they looked at my video and saw how I put everything together. But let me tell you what I do to make sure my sizes are okay and everything, and everything works together. When I put this first collage together, I do it digitally, and that way I know that all my pieces are sized correctly. And I can put the pieces together ahead of time and see exactly what I have. But I don't do anything that I can't do, you know, analog or by cutting the pieces out by hand. And you'll see that when I first laid this out, she had something in her hand. Actually, she had something that went all the way up her shoulder. And when I worked with my image in Photoshop, I was able to correct that and make the hand look like it was just a regular hand and not holding anything. So I do a lot of correcting and making images so that they'll work within the collage. So anyway, I just wanted to clear that up, but we'll go ahead and work on this collage. Now, I print on an Epson Workforce printer. I think it's 7740, and I use Office Depot matte photo paper. And as you can see, it looks like I need to clean my printer because I have some marks here on this piece that I just printed out. But I believe that will all be covered up by the collage. So what I want to do is show you a few things first, and then we'll get into the collaging. When you have an image like this and you want to use her in a collage, I mean, she looks really beautiful against that background. One thing you can do is change her clothing. And I had this dress cut out for a painting that I'm actually working on. It's actually a large collage. And this you could adapt and put her in a different outfit. So that's one thing you can do. You'd have to cut down the sleeves and so on and so forth. But that's one idea. And as I was cutting out these blooms, I thought, you know, if I use this, cut it here, and use this as a skirt, you could put different legs on her, or you could just keep it like this and layer it. And suppose you wanted to cover up that arrow up there, you could actually cut around her fingers and place this stem in her hand. So it would mostly cover up that arrow. It might, you know, I don't think that looks bad actually with that little bit of feathering around the end. So play with your images, have fun with them, and see what you can come up with. And I always have, you know, some extra pieces here on my table from other collages that I've done. And, you know, you can play with the pieces and see what you can come up with. You know, that totally changes the image here, and makes it even a little bit more surreal than she is. And again, I cut out around her hand, but this bone, part of a skull, could actually be used up here in the top. Anyway, it's just some ideas, and you know, I might want to make a different collage this time. Let's say I wanted her standing on this goat head. Okay, which I can do. Okay, and then I could place this here at her waist. And then what could we do with this monkey? This monkey could be sitting here on this petal of this flower here. And we could keep her headdress the same and place these different images around her, and they, you know, we can overlap. We can overlap her, have these over here around the sides. You know, the snail could be crawling up here, getting ready to crawl up her skirt or something like that. Could put a butterfly down here. We could put butterflies behind her head. This. We could give her wings with butterflies. I actually kind of like that. Let's see, I have this one. Okay, and I've used up all of my pieces, but I have a totally different collage than I have over here. This one, she's kind of blooming out of the center of the flower. This one, she's kind of standing on these bones, walking on the bones. And it's kind of fun, you know, I like it. We could put the monkey could be sitting down here at her feet. I like that. And we could continue with the snail crawling up this, the goat's horn, like that. And put our butterflies up here. So there's so many different things that, you know, you can do with your collaging. Just play with the pieces. I have an extra butterfly here. What else do I have? Oh, and I have my mouse. I forgot to cut out my mouse. Let's see here. I just printed this out on regular printer paper because my printer is, like I said, it needs to be cleaned. So let me just cut out little mousey here and decide where he would go in this new collage. Let's see, where do you want to be, Mr. Mouse? No, he could be peeking out from down here underneath this skull. Or where else could she could be holding him by the tail? Which is kind of fun. So anyway, have fun with your pieces. Just let yourself go and you know, enjoy making a collage. I kind of really like this. It's not as symmetrical as this piece, and I kind of like playing with this stem and maybe cutting around her hand. Let's see what happens when I cut around her hand, and see if I can put the stem up there. You know, guys, it's only paper, and I want you to have fun with these images. They're, you know, they're great fun to play with. And you can, you know, these can get pretty absurd, which, you know, is a lot of fun to work with. Let's see what happens here. And if we cut around her thumb here, she can be holding onto Mr. Mouse by the tail, which is kind of fun. Probably want to cut that off. Yeah, I'll probably cut it off a little bit too much. But anyway, that gives you a different idea of, you know, the type of ways that I like to play with the images. And see what I can come up with. And I think this one's really fun, actually. I like that she's holding the mouse by the tail. That's kind of different. You can move him around. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make this one different. You know, the technique's the same. I'll be, you know, using the same techniques that I used in this one, but just showing you a little bit different way that you can work with your images. Now, I'd cut this butterfly in half and use half on this side and half on this side. And you know, well, not usually, I always lay out my collages before I glue anything down. So I get my design the way that I want it. And I like that. And I want some of these to look like, you know, they're kind of dancing in front of her. So, and this one, and snails crawling up here, and monkey is sitting here at the bottom. On the front of the goat skull. And then this one, you know, could be flying around in back of her head. And if you have other butterflies, include the butterflies in here. So I just think she has the prettiest face. I really do. But that's, you know, that's the difference between these two approaches to the collage. And, you know, if you want to use a different background, I just had this laying around. And, you know, I pulled it out and I thought, wow, you know, what a different collage this would make, you know, with this in the background. I really like it. I think it's really outstanding. So I might, you know, and I could even change her dress in this one, but I really like this. I might play with that one, and I'll show you how that one turns out. Okay, so let's get busy. You know, I always darken the edges of my collage pieces, and I think that's one reason that looks like it's a digital collage, because you can't see any of these white edges. And I'm using Distress ink, Tim Holtz Distress ink, and I'm using gathered twigs. You can use lots of different colors, but you can see the difference between this one with the darkened edges and this one that I haven't darkened the edges yet. So I do that before I glue them down. And I learned about this a long time ago. I think you might be tired of hearing about it, but I used to work a long time ago in print shops and newspapers and magazines, and you know, it was something that you had to do around any clip art, and we called it clip art, that we pasted down. We didn't have computers to do digital work. We did all the ads, and the entire paper magazine was pasted up by hand, believe it or not. And I'm aging myself here, but it's true. So we would take a black pen most of the time and go around the edges of clip art or anything. So because the camera will pick up, will reflect, the edges will reflect in the camera lens. Very, very sensitive. So I'm going to go ahead and darken all my edges, and then we can start doing their pasting. I hope that you'll join my creative community. It's on Facebook, and it's Linda Carol Art Creative Community. It's a private community, and you can post. Feel free to post once you're a member of the community. The first post that you do needs to be approved, but after the first one's approved, you can go ahead and post freely. And there are a couple questions to answer when you decide you want to join. And once you're approved, then you'll have access to the freebies that are on there for Collage. I'd love to see what y'all are creating with these images. And unless you're posting on Instagram or posting, you know, on your own site on Facebook, I don't have a way to see what you all are doing with these images, and I'd love to see that. I really would. So think about it. There's a link down below if you'd like to join. And I approach this the same way. This collage was laid out, you know, the same way. And I'm pretty much just touching the edges. I'm not really adding, you know, a lot of we call it distress in the junk journal book world. You know, I just want to get rid of the white on the edges. So that's basically what I'm doing. You know, this also adds a little bit of dimension to your images if your shading comes right around the edge a little bit. So, and to me that's kind of a plus. Okay, I think I've got everything. So let's get started here. And I'm just going to use my glue stick on the backs of these. And we're going to cover up all this area that was ruined by the printer. So we won't have to worry about that. I'm just making sure I get plenty of glue on the edges here. Okay, you know how I am about my edges and where things intersect and so on. Oops, I didn't do this one. One reason I do like the glue stick is I do have a little bit of a grace period here to work with. I think I'm going to make this one go off the edge a little bit. Oops. Broke his little tail. Ooh, I almost forgot this one. I love to layer in my collages. Oh no, little mousy. Get you up. Okay, not to worry. I have a second little mousy. Let's see here. Where did I put my second little mousy? There he is. Cut him out real quick. And I don't have to worry about his tail because his tail is still there. So, I'll just worry about this little piece of his tail. I don't need any of that, except I'll leave a little tiny bit here. And there he is. So don't worry, it's just paper, and you can usually fix anything that you think is a mistake, and usually you'll find out it's really not a mistake, it's an opportunity. So, I'll get him right there. Okay, Mr. Monkey. Sit right here. Now, when I do this, I don't want to have these little tiny pieces of grass showing. I want to make sure those edges are covered. Because if they're not, they're really distracting. All right, and now we have the rest of our butterflies. Let's see, we have these. I want to make sure that I'm kind of dancing in front of her. Okay. You know, and you can add layers and layers of butterflies, and I'm probably going to go in and add more butterflies to this and really have it look super magical. And I have lots of butterflies from other kits and things. There's just so much you can do. I mean, really, just have fun. And if you want it to look like there are butterflies that are farther in the background, you can print your pages at half size so that the butterflies will be half the size they are now and look like they're further in the background, which is probably what I'm going to do. I just loved all the way, the different ways these colors worked together. And where did my little snail go? There he is. I thought he was part of that scene. Well, this one I called In Bloom. I'm not sure what this one's going to be called. Okay, there we go. Oops, one more. All right. I'm gonna trim my monkey's tail and on top of my butterfly. And there you have it. 2 different takes on one with one kit. See what happens if we put a cherry on top of there. Kind of looks a little bit unfinished. There. Yep, that works. Kind of finishes off those edges up there. And if this was going to make sense, it makes a little bit more sense with that cherry right there. Okay. You know, you could go in and change her face. I love her face. You could change her eyes. You could just have fun and do, you know, do whatever you feel you really are drawn to make it your own. But there she is, another magical soul on a magical Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded to you, and I'll make sure that I get my collage sheets up on my Etsy site tomorrow, so that they'll be available for download, and I'll have the background on my Facebook, the Creative Community site. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. Sorry this is going up late, but my family came first today, so I know you understand. I hope you have a great evening or afternoon or morning, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. And I wish you many blessings. I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.